This is a story that truly happened. A 15-year-old boy named Morris decided to explore the Yamamo Cave. Due to the pitch darkness inside, he lost all sense of direction. Furthermore, as the cave was quite narrow, he didn't realize he had taken the wrong path, which eventually led to a dead end. For Morris, Yamamo Cave was not unfamiliar. At that time, he often visited the location with his brother to smoke in secret. So, when he heard he could explore the cave with his friends, he was thrilled. In reality, it was part of a school trip, but along the way, the bus tire punctured, and they decided to change the destination to Yamamo Cave. The entrance to the cave resembled a creature's mouth, roughly 1.2 meters tall and 4.5 meters wide. Upon entering, there was an initial space of 25 meters, large enough for everyone to stand upright. As the cave's size was manageable, Morris and his friends were able to enter with ease. Filled with excitement, Morris led the group while his friends and teacher followed from behind. As he advanced, the tunnel gradually narrowed, forcing him to stoop and eventually crawl. At a certain point, the tunnel branched into two directions. Morris noticed a large rock ahead and, trusting his memory, assumed that was the correct path. Without hesitation, he moved forward quickly, unaware that his friends had fallen behind. As the tunnel became even narrower, Morris had to crawl along the ground. Realizing he was trapped in such a confined space, he began to feel scared and started calling out to his friends, but there was no response. It was then that he realized he had ventured too far and was completely isolated. He tried to continue moving forward, believing he would find a larger space to turn around and leave. However, he had no idea he was heading the wrong way. As he pressed on, he encountered two rocks and attempted to squeeze through the gap between them. Suddenly, one of the stones beneath him shifted, and he slid into a position where he became completely stuck. He felt pressure on his chest, making it hard to breathe. To make matters worse, he was trapped upside down, meaning the longer he stayed in this position, the more blood would flow to his head and heart, potentially causing cardiac arrest. Time was of the essence. Several hours had already passed since Morris had become trapped. His friends, waiting at the cave's entrance, grew concerned when he didn't return. The teacher then decided to enter the cave to search for him. However, due to the narrow space, the teacher could only see Morris's feet. Although Morris was still alive, the oxygen levels in the cave were steadily dropping, and the restricted space made it impossible for his chest to expand properly. The biggest problem was that the teacher had no experience in caving. If he ventured further, he could also become trapped. Nevertheless, he tried to find a solution. The teacher made several attempts to loop a belt around Morris's feet and eventually succeeded. He began pulling Morris back, but after moving him just a few inches, the belt snapped. Morris slid even deeper, hitting his head against the cave wall and starting to bleed. The situation grew even more critical. In pain, Morris